Hello and welcome once again here on Token TV, Venture Capital TV. I'm going to be your host for today. My name is Xavier, and we have a great show prepared for you. Very interesting. And the best part is that we're going to hear it directly from the founders of the project. Like every session, we bring you the innovation, technology, and solutions you want to hear about. And again, once you hear it from the founders of the project, the best part is you can address your questions. You're going to find there a chat box. So please, any questions or comments that you have, just put it there and we're going to address it. This is a unique opportunity to get to hear it directly from the founder. So don't miss out on it. But before we move on to the interview, as a reminder, you can always see our previous shows and content visiting token.com/VCTV/shows. Also, follow us on our socials like Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button because you always get informed about great content, opportunities, and we have a lot of giveaways. One last reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Please do your research before making any decision. The choice is yours. With that said, I would like to welcome our guest behind the project Osis, Chris Tabar, CEO of Osis, and Jalal Ibrahimi, COO of Osis. Gentlemen, great to have you here. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you. We're doing great. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in Los Angeles. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Great to hear that. You are very welcome, and it's a great project from what I was reading about Osis, which is like I assume the short one for apotheosis, right?
Yes,
Which
that's right.
correct me, is that a Greek word?
I think it might be. I mean, most words in that lane are rooted into
Yeah,
Greek,
I
but
was reading. I was just curious about the word. It means from what I read on the internet, it means the climax, the greatest
Mhm.
ending point of something, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
that was inspired by the fact that we are making a conglomerate of companies, and that's the parent company that runs the entire thing you guys are going to hear about.
Okay, great. We're very excited. Just at the very beginning, to our viewers, it's so important to learn about the project, and that is a duty that you have to do. Down below, you're gonna see the project's website, osis.world. You're gonna find a lot of information, documentation, information to economics. So please do visit that website. And and again, we very much appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, you already got receiving a few of them. Let's go. Yes. Exciting. Yeah, it's super exciting. Oh, Osis founder are some of the best people you'll ever meet.
Oh wow!
Well, I think I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. So, with that said, gentlemen, I would like to ask if you could tell a little bit about yourself and the team behind this project.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Do you want to start or should I start?
Sure. So my name is Jalal Ibrahimi. I'm the co-founder and the chief operating officer of the company. I'll talk a little bit about myself. And my background is in accounting and finance. I've been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember, I believe 13, 14 years old. And I've been able to be in the entrepreneurial lane and kind of pay my way through college, university, graduated with a bachelor's of commerce in accounting, and built several startups to date in the last few years, a few of them successful. And you're going to be learning a lot more about them in this presentation with my co-founder, Chris. You can take it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, just like him, I remember when we were high school friends. He was selling cell phones, making his own money, getting his lunch money and everything since we were little. Myself, I've had an interesting past. My name is Chris Tabero. My background lies in legal and music. Actually, started playing music when I was 11, 12. Didn't realize it, but I had perfect pitch and synesthesia, so I could see sound. So that was a good tool. So I ended up being in the entrepreneurial space due to music first, and also got to see recording contracts. And my mind was spinning on a few things. So my family is very political, socioeconomic. This is due to, in part, my dad getting a Fulbright scholarship to Berklee College of Music. That got them to from Rwanda to Boston. So the genocide happened, and I was born months after they escaped somehow. And so them being from such diverse backgrounds. I just had to learn like what was going on in this world. Why are things the way they are? Why is it that if you're in Honduras or somewhere in a more impoverished country, you have less of a chance than somebody who's in the States? I wanted to maximize my chances, and by learning what I could do to help. And so that was trying to learn about the middleman issue that bridged into Osis and what that stands for and what it's all about. And so through music, I ended up learning more about corporate law and finances through the Jalal as well. As natural language processing, neurolinguistic programming, learned little bit about programming as well. Started diversifying my skill set by applying myself and leaving Canada when I ended up moving to Canada when I was really, really small to California. That was a scary experience. I had to play the street perform on the street for rent for 8 months straight. But you get a lot of people skills. You get a lot of, you learn faster. I grew up
I guess so,
really fast. So that ended up bridging to the idea today. I learned that the middleman issue with people was the same issue that was solved through Bitcoin's technology and blockchain, removing the middleman through peer-to-peer transactions at any amount.
Okay, great. Chris, what's your type of music? What music are you in?
All types. I love funk. I play bass. I play a bit of drums. I play keys. I play guitar. I sing. I would say a lot of people like to say Bruno Mars when they hear the songs that I like to play that are funky. But I can also play hip hop. I am jazz rooted when it comes to most of my instrumentation, but that bridged into stuff I like to play, which is more funky music. So
that's an absolute virtuoso.
Wow, man, I'm jealous. The only thing I can play is the keyboard in my laptop.
I
make a lot of mistakes.
That's all right.
Great. That's really get to know the personal side of it. I think this is what it's all about, to get to know the names, the faces behind the project. From what I was reading, it's a really interesting project. I have a lot of questions. I'm sure our viewers will have a bunch of other questions, so I hope we can all squeeze it in within this limited time we have. So let's jump on the project. Can you gentlemen please give us a quick overview of the project? What is Osis about?
Yes. Osis is a platform, and we'll get into the explanation of what tokenization is, but we are applying tokenization to everything we're doing, and we are basing that through education and helping people understand what Web 2 and Web 3 is. So we're giving people the essential tools through in the blockchain by educating them on how to use it first. This is all through the experiences we went through. For example, looking at Binance in the very beginning, a great platform. However, the issues that they ended up overcoming in the beginning were the things that we saw that inspired us to create what we have, which was the whole ICO boom in 2017, when a lot of, for lack of a better word, poor and schemy coins were popping into the market in that decentralized market, scamming a lot of people. And I was seeing this, I was like, wow, this white paper is strong, but this is not real. I was seeing a lot of these platforms coming in to Binance and taking a lot of people's hard-earned money. And I was like, why did this happen? And I realized it's because, just like us, no one really told anyone what was going on, and no one gave anybody a warning, like to learn about this field. It's new, it's fresh. There's a lot of money out here, but that's a lot of opportunity for extortion and scamming. So we were like, we need to have a focus on education here. This is an extremely early opportunity. So we need to learn what we have to learn. That was 5 years ago, in order to put Osis out this year. Because my feeling was in 4 to 7 years, that what we saw, that boom right there, was going to turn into a real thing for everybody between 2021 and 2025. And we're fortunate to say we were correct. So we could probably show them a video about with illustrating what we're talking about, and other verified and reputable people speaking on the topic as well, and then we can get into the details as to what Osis is.
Okay, great. So we look at the video now.
If you want us to, we can
please do. We love videos here.
Yes,
all right, great. You see this?
Yeah, we see it.
Medium says that tokenization will fundamentally change the global economy. Daily FinTech says that we're at the dawn of a new age, and it's no wonder why. As I mentioned earlier, tokenization is positioned to be 30 times bigger than the stock market. A $544 trillion wealth building opportunity is about to be unleashed. Pretty soon, everything could be tokenized. And that means that the profit potential here is so huge. We literally have not seen a financial opportunity like this since the stock market formed 400 years ago. What I want people to do is invest in the blockchain platforms that will allow this tokenization boom to take place. These platforms are going to be the best way to profit. The mainstream is completely clueless about this tsunami.
Osis, as it launches, the Osis core platform has sold over 700,000 Osis tokens, over $350,000 raised in the last 4 months. We are really, really early in terms of the investment opportunity in the project. Osis is creating something that is more like an ecosystem and a network of companies. And so this is what it's going to look like. If you have Osis at the top, we have Ethos launching this summer. We have Coincare launching this year as well. Companies are going to be on a public exchange. This is a whole network that is being invested in, and you're receiving the original platform token, the original platform share, and everything that comes after it that succeeds is bringing everything up together, all of us up together. You are right here, and you get to make that choice. We are not trying to push hype. We are not trying to push rushing. We are not trying to push anything that's not authentic. We're getting attention from the very entities we've been speaking about in the middle, and we would love for you to be in front.
Yeah, this is all content we're going to go through in the deck.
Okay, so
Okay, great. I have a lot of questions from the things that I was looking there. Okay, so as we know, you can basically tokenize almost anything, right?
yes,
Any kind of asset, whether
What
it's
does it mean to have a Bitcoin?
business, it's real estate, and so on.
Mhm.
So, if I understand correctly, then Osis would help tokenize these assets.
That's one of the things that we're going to be doing. Our
Okay.
ultimate goal is to like exchanges have been doing for the last 400 years, but in a decentralized way, allow for tokens to for people to own their information and to distribute that however they see fit. If it's to make money, like through their own products, they can do that in the tokenized world. They can tokenize themselves and also benefit from the technology that, as you guys have been watching, is scaling to a far larger market share than anything we've ever seen before. So to give the average person that opportunity, but also the safety through the tools necessary to navigate that properly. So
Yeah.
that starts with things like NFT domains and your own wallet and understanding what you actually have, which is important because a lot of people don't understand what this like these hashes are, like the 0x90 whatever on the wallet. Like, what is that even doing? Why is it that if I send it to the wrong address, I can never get my money back? There's all these questions people have. And we're here to answer and help educate on that.
Yeah, there are all kinds of barriers to adoption for the mainstream. And PwC recently did a survey, and they found out that if it were easy or simplified, that more than 70% of Americans would be using tokenized assets and would be on the blockchain actively every day in their normal lives. Now, obviously, we're not there yet because it's not simple yet. And so that's where Osis comes in, where we will help people transition from their Web 2 mentality, the Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, where now they have more value in assets on the blockchain and they're living and actively doing business on the blockchain. The first platform that we are launching actually this coming weekend is going to be the first step to that, which gives everyone like a decentralized account, something we call Osis Core. And it was very funny. It was a little bit of a joke, but I had the pleasure of meeting Gary Vaynerchuk about a month and a half ago. Yeah. And I was speaking to him and he was asking me, what is it in a nutshell? And I was like, we are building something to allow even your grandma to launch her own NFT project or token
Or blockchain.
or blockchain. Something that simple. We want to make it that easy for the everyday person to come here and enter the space and bring value to the space. There are all kinds of super bright people in the current world, and they're struggling and they're competing against a million other people in similar industries. And it's like, wait, everything can be reimagined through this new medium called blockchain. It's really as far as your imagination can go. And we want to enable every single person to be able to do that, to express themselves and use their imagination, bring their business over here.
And this, for example, just for an example, like I have a business, right? And I want to tokenize the shares of the company.
Yeah.
I could turn to you guys, to Osis, and then you would actually tokenize those shares.
That's the next step. Yes.
Is that something that will happen, or is that something that's happening right now?
Already happening in a way. Like with companies like Stake, like betting platforms are starting to tokenize athletes. There's all types of. This is already on its way. We were hearing HSBC and Goldman Sachs are going to release
their own
exchange,
tokenized
platform next year, which we feel good about because that's what we're trying to do that a year before. But all types of platforms and people are like an NFTs and tokenized assets.
Yeah, but is Osis doing that right now?
That's what we're doing right now. Yes, but at the very moment, we are building the technology, and we built different platforms that, like I was saying before, that are residing in the Web 2 world that can transfer into the Web 3 world at the same time.
Yeah, we're building the bridge first for people to cross, and then fully activate on the Web 3 side.
Like if Blockbuster bought Netflix, for example, we're trying to create the physical.
Okay.
To give
because this is something, and I've done a lot of interviews, projects. A lot of people are saying, yeah, you can tokenize, I don't know, a racehorse, you can tokenize their real estate, but they don't tell you how. Exactly. And people who, unless they really dig into it and start asking people, it's very complex. It's complicated for them to try to do it themselves.
Right.
So I think if you can give the education, you can actually, as you mentioned, give the bridge to do that. It'll be really helpful. Yeah. And okay, I was going to save that question for the roadmap, but now that we're on it, I can ask you now. When do you expect to have that ready?
Summertime. We plan to have a launch pad for to tokenize different assets and people, businesses as well. That's when we plan to have that. And a person should be excited to come in today or as soon as they want, because we are giving them tools, not just to be within the Osis platform. That's the thing that a lot of people might the misconception a lot of people might have. We actually don't mind. Like, you can go to different platforms. We're giving everybody the tools and the awareness to jump into whatever space they want. What Osis Core, what's coming out this weekend is it's something that's going to give people the ability to platform invest. What that means is buying into a token that plans to become an exchange, meaning if once the launchpad is created for multiple assets to have the chance to flourish, that platform token will be the direct beneficiary of that situation, along with the investors that are a part of that and the utility that is pouring through that. So right now, a person can come in, get, let's say, 1,000 Osis, which is the equivalent of 50 cents per token, and get a meta badge. So what a meta badge is, it's an NFT, right? But the NFT is representative of a vote within the company, so that a person can actually use that in the long run. If we have different things we want to put out, different features, different people we want to invest in on the launchpad. Yeah. There's a lot of utility that we can go on for days about.
Yes. And so this is exactly why we have a pitch deck ready to present for you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Looking forward. Yeah. Really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we see it now? Okay.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to start.
Sure. So we can run through this quick and answer questions at the same time. It'll be nice and flow through. Mm-hmm. As we said before, Osis is a utility token, and it's the first platform that's applying tokenization to everything it's doing at a mass scale.
Yes, the abstract.
Yeah, so the abstract, I will read this directly to you as quick as I can. This is part of our white paper. Our white paper is a much deeper look and dive into this. You can find it on our website on the homepage, or in any of the social pages. It'll be linked there. But the concept that we are proposing here, the thesis, I guess you could say, is that purchasing a token from a publicly traded brand, a term that we coined, in a decentralized network would be an empowering act for the buyer. The social and economic benefits, typically exclusive to private equity firms, would be garnered by the world's citizens for less than a fraction of the cost and time. Creating a decentralized brand in an inclusive ecosystem would ensure its impact, whereas centralization and private industry controls a brand's growth strictly for profit.
Mm-hmm.
The brand, being publicly traded on multiple exchanges, would now have the chance to perform at its full potential thanks to the support of the global population. Osis and its publicly traded brands embody the strength in numbers methodology.
Yes. So yeah, that abstract, it came from something that I ended up sharing with Jalal way back, and I'll keep this story a little short. But as you were talking about with, you can tokenize anything like a racehorse, this and that. I was in France actually in 2017, and I was looking at a building, and I was imagining to myself, what if this building, or who owns this building? Let's pretend it's a few, kids who own it, like just guys that built a building, and they decided to quote unquote tokenize it. The word didn't exist at the time, so I was just thinking, what if they had shares that they shared with all the people who decided to pay rent? What if all the people paying rent also owned the building, along with maybe the restaurant at the bottom that could be a sub company that also was sharing, had the shares, and maybe the rules within that building was every time revenue is generated, everybody in here gets a cut. But then my mind ended up racing when I realized that with tokenization, or if you made this a cryptocurrency instead, which is the same thing, the whole world could buy into that situation. If, say, that restaurant became a chain of restaurants, or some of the individuals in that building decided to tokenize themselves and they happen to be famous, or they had something that was very strong as far as product. So I started realizing that this would be an insanely large situation, and we had to raise awareness to it by building what we had to build over the last 5 years. So I called Jalal. A lot of people didn't even really understand what I was trying to share in the beginning. So we knew we had to educate ourselves first and build various platforms to bring a credibility to ourselves, but also understand the space even more.
Yeah. So very simply, what Osis is going to be doing this summer is allowing people to tokenize any kind of asset that they own. And tokenization is simply splitting anything physical or digital into purchasable shares on the blockchain. You can replace the word blockchain with internet.
Yeah.
As simple as that. And the example we have here is real estate. And to date, there have been hundreds of millions in real estate deals that have happened on the blockchain. And it's a beautiful thing to see. So normally a real estate building, for instance, if it was worth $100 million, most of us in this call, most people in the world could never even have a chance to get involved with that opportunity or that development. But if you were to tokenize the shares, say into 10 million shares, then everyone could buy one at $10 a share.
Mm-hmm. Or less. If you can fractionally buy in the blockchain world, it's really up to the person.
Yes, and then this real estate or any kind of tokenized asset would be traded on a public exchange on the internet. It would be super easy, super accessible, super liquid, where you could buy and sell the shares at any time, any day, similar to how you buy Apple stock or how you buy Google stock on the NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, other $1 trillion markets that can be tokenized. Really, it's as far as your imagination can go. It can be any brand, even a creator, an individual. You could look at someone like Elon Musk as a person who is an excellent example for someone that you could tokenize, because most people investing in his projects are investing in him.
Yeah.
Like especially something like Boring Company. You look at Boring Company, but people are invested in Boring Company.
Or even viral sensations on the internet that are young people that have a lot of upsides. Like, for example, that guy, I don't know if you know him, the cabbie guy who does the hands up thing. Like if he decided to tokenize himself, he'd have all types of advisors and other people that would help his great mind do more.
One question here for people like me that are not really technical in that sense. How do you get to actually tokenize something? Like, for example, we were talking about real estate, right? You have the property deed, the title deed, right?
Yeah.
That's a legal document, notarized apostille. Now, how do you get to tokenize that?
The process is actually very simple, especially like you said, if you own the deed, you would take that deed and you could commit it to the internet and create something called a smart contract. Now, this is where Osis takes all the legwork and coding out of the equation, where you would say, okay, here I have this deed and I will like legally put it up for on the blockchain through the smart contract. And so the smart contract would be where it says it defines the ownership of the property split into millions of shares or however many tokens or shares that you create. The process could be as little as 5 minutes to create the tokenization part if you own the property or you own whatever it is that you want to tokenize. It is actually a very simple process once you get down to it, if you remove all the code.
Yeah, and the good thing about technology doing that instead of sometimes an individual writing the paperwork or monitoring the paperwork is there's less risk of corruption or fights and all the types of other stuff, because now the human is out. You guys made the decision on what you want the electronic contract to look like, and now you have to be bound by that until you want to do a new one. That's the power of a smart contract. It keeps everything fair, it keeps everything legitimate, and it removes any type of negativity that could have come out of any wrongdoings within this.
Yeah.
And once you have the smart contract, you're going to split that into digital shares. Where are those shares located? In which ecosystem? Is it in the Osis ecosystem or?
So we are a multi-chain platform. We are really, in a lot of ways, technology agnostic. We are building for the most accessibility as possible. The whole concept here is to make it easy. So right now, the Ethereum blockchain space, things like Polygon are very, very popular and the most adopted. So we are starting with tokenizing on the Ethereum blockchain, or more so actually the Polygon blockchain. They call that a layer 2 solution. Mm-hmm. Polygon is the version of Ethereum that you can use, which has almost zero gas fees. So
that's important to us.
So it's a lot cheaper to use. It's almost free in reality, a few dollars to launch a smart contract and to trade almost free, zero gas in comparison to Ethereum. So Ethereum being the most popular blockchain for smart contracts, it is going to be very, very accessible for anyone who has a MetaMask or uses practically any exchange in the world. You can hold these tokens.
We have ambitions to scale to our own blockchain, and we would call it the Apotheosis blockchain network. That's what we have. That's our ultimate plan within this space, is to have our own, so that we can have more flexibility. That as you get deeper into that world, there is bureaucracy, a lot of it in the decentralized world as well, when you look deeper. But we want to be able to do as much as we can to give people that freedom to pick and choose wherever they want to go once they find us.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yes. So this is a very wonderful slide that you saw in the presentation earlier, and the truth is, tokenization is already here. You can look at all of the biggest companies are invested in the blockchain, invested into tokenization itself, whether it's NFTs or it's cryptocurrency. Like a lot of big firms are purchasing Bitcoin now. If you look at, this is funny, I mention this to our community all the time. If you look at one of the biggest companies on planet Earth, they have completely rebranded everything that they were and called themselves Meta. They are now a tokenized, they're entering this tokenization blockchain space. And this is obviously great news for everyone that is already, a pioneer in the space. But it's like, look, people, this is something that is a huge wave. There's a reason why it's going to be a $544 trillion industry. Companies at the size and scale of Facebook or Meta now are diving in, head, toes, heels, everything into the space. And the reason being is that now, instead of everything being guarded and limited by the traditional way of building a business, anybody can now launch online. The internet changed the whole way that everyone does business. The pandemic changed the way people even go to work anymore. It's all remote, and more people are at home and creating online and doing more in a digital world, in a digital, I guess you could call it metaverse, which is another word for blockchain, in my opinion. Yeah. We are seeing a huge boom, and this is going to be over the next 10, 20, 30 years that we'll see everything will change in the way that we do business.
Yeah, people should understand as well. Just because something is on the internet doesn't mean it's not real. The issue is value. A lot of like the NFTs, you can look at them like a primitive way of operating on the internet. Like the first websites on the internet when the internet started are probably not around today, because it was test run. It's all about, is this thing going to give me something in the real world? People do value things emotionally, but we believe the platforms that are going to survive are things that are going to give people real world utility. But that doesn't mean that it's something that can't exist in the digital space. That actually means that if it can exist in the digital space as well, it has even more value. I mean, everybody's on Netflix. You can't touch the show you're watching, but it's real to you, and you're absorbing it, and you're buying, you're paying for it. Just like a song, you can't touch the sound, but it's real to you. So when it's something that you can say, okay, well, now this show I have a stake in. Maybe items in the show are things that I can buy into. Whoa, I can be a shareholder in the show I'm watching. It's all about the imagination, and actually that makes it even more valuable than it could be. It actually gives it its true value, because the internet was still something that's been tested. It's not even that old. So that's the thing that people need to know. When things like the media or other platforms try to tell you that Web3 or blockchain is not good, or Bitcoin is fake, or whatever, understand that these are the same entities buying into this at the tone of hundreds of billions of dollars too.
Before mainstream adoption.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah, they want to be the first ones.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Osis blueprint.
Yes. So this is a very crucial slide that breaks down some of the complexity behind the platform. In order to become a tokenization platform and herald in a new age, as we saw above, join the whole blockchain wave, we've had to create a few things in the past to lead to this day. What you see and what is being launched this weekend is something called Osis Core, and Osis Core is the connection to the blockchain for people. This will be the stepping stone for anyone who is new to blockchain or a veteran even, to have wallets, accounts, and access to the blockchain. This is also an API. For those who don't know what an API is, it's basically a piece of technology that other websites, other platforms, other businesses can plug in to their existing technology that allows them to access the blockchain, that allows them to start making money on the blockchain, or to tokenize, ultimately, to use this technology to be in the blockchain Web3 world. And Osis Core is being launched this weekend as we speak, actually on the 30th. Again, like we said, we are technology agnostic, so it doesn't matter what a person has built their existing platform on. It doesn't matter how traditional or old school they are, they can still access this. We are trying to make it as simple as possible, whether it's like a front end user, like a client or a customer who just is a normal person who invests, who wants to learn more about blockchain, or if they are like a big business that wants to build it into their actual back end technology. Osis Core is that part of the platform.
You can imagine something like remember when we had emails on Hotmail and we used MSN and all that? Then Google came along and gave you all-purpose Google accounts where you could jump in, sign in to Facebook with Google, sign into Twitter with Google. You could do all that.
Yeah.
What we're doing with Osis Core here is we're giving people the Web3 version of this with the wallets and accounts. So once this is set up, which it is actually, we're just testing a lot of, we're doing all the testing we need to do before we put this out. But once Osis Core is out on the weekend, people will be able to take their things like you call an NFT domain, which we'll get to in a second, or your wallet, and actually integrate that into any platform on the blockchain. That's why I say when a person gets into Osis, we don't mind if they go somewhere else, because we're just trying to give people the tools to be everywhere they want to be, and safely navigate as well.
The blockchain is decentralized and it's universal. Your Osis Core is the same thing. Your Osis Core account is the same thing. It just lets you be a part of that decentralized world.
Okay.
Yes, so that is the infrastructure. Now what you're seeing below here is another company called Coincare, where you see a few different other brands and companies that are part of the, I guess you could say the apotheosis ecosystem. That's a good word, ecosystem. And on the bottom right, you see your business, your tokenized projects right here. We can kind of jump into talking about the.
Maybe we should stay up there first. I think we should go through this whole thing.
This one question: is Coincare your company, or is it an independent company?
It's everything you're seeing here. We created or are creating. So yeah, we can stay here for a second and help. So with Coincare, we built this before we built Osis actually, and this was to get the reputation necessary to actually and knowledge to jump into the space. Joel, if you want to tell the story as to how we even started creating this,
so Coincare is a financial company, a financial technology company that was born of an opportunity towards the end of the pandemic in 2021. A lot of businesses in the U.S. were basically shuttering their doors. It was getting real bad. All the closures and the limitations, restrictions were dragging on. And in effort to boost the economy, the U.S. Government started to issue all kinds of loans and different opportunities, grants for businesses to bring some financial stimulus to the economy.
Yeah.
A lot of these programs were kind of spun up very quickly, and the process to access the funds was really difficult for normal businesses and normal entrepreneurs, ma and pa shops. So we noticed a lot of people were basically getting rejected left, right, and center for programs that were in reality very easy to get into. With my background, I helped a few friends, a few random businesses that I saw online, and we found a huge opportunity here. What we did is we helped maybe 50, 100 people access up to whatever $1 million in funding from the government. And then that scaled into, we actually started automating the process and created several different partnerships with banks in the US to ultimately end up funding about 2,600 small businesses within 3 months.
We ran, so yeah, he was like, okay, I'm doing this, it's manual, it's going well, but I'm tired. And I was like, maybe we can run an ad. So that's another part of my background. I know how to run really strong ads. So we made a web page or a video, and then we partnered with the bank. You emailed the bank. We said that we can give them more traffic if they give us a percentage of the of the fee that we would get for successfully clearing a loan. And then that led to over 50 million worth in funding for small businesses around the States, which then in turn gave us the certification to become a neobank through Galileo. And it gave us the ability to finally start scaling to creating our token.
Oh, okay. So Coincare is a neobank now?
Yes. Coincare is a financial technology company. We are launching it later this year. We actually recently signed a deal with Metropolitan Commercial Bank, Galileo. We are working with MasterCard to bring crypto cards to the world that will connect to the Osis core account. So all of our users and members joining today or any day will be able to get a crypto card that allows them to have a regular bank account and be able to use their crypto like a normal credit card.
Yeah,
and this is actually international. We have international partners at Coincare that will allow us to launch our bank in the UK, Europe, North America, and soon Latin America.
It's interesting because I was just talking with another project about the neobank issue. So you would have you were partnered with another bank in Europe, for example, for this?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's amazing. When is this going to happen?
Coincare. So Coincare is it's set to be launched in late this year. So Q4 2022, more internationally in 2023.
Yeah, you guys are full of surprises. Really, it's like the deeper I dig, the more comes out, like a Pandora box. Because just this alone, to have a neobank oriented towards this with the card and so on to help with the transfers, it's that itself is amazing. I know because I used to work at this before, just to set up a neobank. The project itself it takes time and not cheap.
No, it isn't.
A lot of work. So if you guys could pull that up, it's a great accomplishment, especially international. I know regionally it's hard, but internationally, wow, that would be a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, as minorities, I don't know, and I don't like to talk about it in that way, but it was difficult to show what we can do and it be believed. But this was the first step we had to take in order to be taken seriously, and thankfully that worked. But the sole purpose of this, or the main one and function, is to demonstrate the differences between Web 2, Web 3, but also the benefits of both. For a person who's trying to go from I have a card and I have USD or GBP or whatever, or just flipping that to going into crypto.
Yes. So this is a very very important layer to Osis Core and the whole ecosystem, because it allows people to take their crypto and make it US dollars and put that money on the table, or whatever currency that they use. So this will be that layer, the fiat, the Web 2, whatever you want to call it.
Again, it's all about freedom. We're not saying screw fiat and we're not saying screw crypto. We love crypto, but we're saying you can use and do whatever you want here and you wish afterwards. So from Coincare, it scales to actually another platform that's here, and we're going to get deeper into the details of each one later. But Ethos down here, it's the events tokenizer. But also, we like to call this the Airbnb for events. This was actually the first platform we needed to create, and in order to make all of this stuff successful. So I will explain the Web 2 again, the non-benefits, I guess. If you go on Instagram or any other platform,
YouTube,
anywhere, and you send a message to a friend of yours or anybody, you might think that's cool and that's your conversation. Nobody can look at it, but that's actually not the case. We talk in coding language, but in a way that people can understand. What you are in the internet is a client. You are sending something to the server, and the server then sends that information to the other client. What that means is the server is the distributor of this information, meaning the server actually legally like owns everything that's happening, meaning you don't even own your own conversations or the information that's being transmitted.
You are the product.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what, when they said accept terms and conditions, which nobody reads ever, including myself. You press accept, and then all that happens, right? All hell breaks loose.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't understand. It's almost like a 1984 situation without you realizing it. Like, this is not yours. But so we were thinking about this very in the far beginning. We were like, we're not going to be able to accomplish what we're trying to do as far as the helping bring this awareness out if we don't if we're not about it and actually try to create a platform that respects that reality. So in Web3 interactions, the messages and the calls and all of these interactions that would normally be owned by the platform would not be. So with Ethos, we're creating a social media that focuses on people creating their events and promoting their own businesses or tokenized assets on a platform where they own their data, they own everything, they monetize themselves, and we don't even look.
Yes, the content can be minted as NFTs and sold.
Yeah, the only thing, and there is a mix of Web2, because if somebody wants to be a public figure, of course, they're going to need to give their information out in order to monetize. That's what they would want to do in the first place. For example, me as an artist, I'm not going to put my music out as an anonymous human being because the brand matters, right? But for others, let's say that are interacting in that space, that say find something of value, or in that event that's happening on the platform, they post something that goes viral and it's theirs, they would be monetizing that. So there's that, but there's also, for the person who's not there to just make money, they can privately converse and do whatever they want to do. Of course, there are risks within that, but there's risks within everything in life. And so we were just evaluating all those risks before creating Ethos. And so that's what you have here.
Yeah. Ethos has been around since 2018, 2019. It was prime for launch in 2020, early 2020, and then the pandemic began. So we had to pause the event side of the world.
Which is another opportunity, though. That gave us more time to plan and actually create a token and create NFT domains and everything for people to use as usernames within this platform. So there's a lot.
Yes, and now within this blueprint and ecosystem would be every tokenized project that creates builds on Osis. Really, the way the network will expand is crazy. This is something that you would call network effects. Every user that comes on from our network, from our community, would have complete and full access to any other project that comes on after too. So that's why we talk about creating something inclusive, something that's community based. If you have an Osis core account, you automatically have an Ethos account. You automatically have an account on the Osis exchange. You automatically have the ability to access the tokenization, the launchpad, as well as literally any other blockchain platform that is going to be created within Osis core. All of it is fully accessible through one account. It's a single sign-on concept because it is blockchain. And I believe that this will have huge impacts on the future of brands that are coming in, in a new way. They're new to blockchain, to be able to access communities like this. You're accessing the world.
Yep. And like we always talk about strength in numbers. Everything we're creating here is also in a way a case study for people who want to create their own businesses and tokenized assets, so that they can see, what's successful, what isn't for themselves, and then they can look outside of even this space or our own space and do more with it. So we don't mind if someone does better. That's the thing about this whole platform and the space.
Yeah,
no, that's great, fantastic. Just what we have getting a lot of positive feedback from your community. Just to show you some, like Miguel says, being part of the Osis community for a while now, and he's loving it. You guys are the real deal. Nailed it. Very excited. Great stuff. And the list keeps going on and on and on. So you have a very strong community. So well done for that.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, they're amazing. They're the reason. They're the reason. They know it. They know it.
Okay. Gentlemen, would you like to keep showing the document or go through it?
We can go further into it. Yes, absolutely.
So we can jump through and show a little bit of a little sneak preview for everyone to see and get a feeling for what it looks like. So here's what the platform will look like, the Osis core platform. Yes, as you can see, there's a wallet. You'll have an internal on-chain Osis wallet, as well as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, and several other cryptocurrencies that we will be adding soon. This is going to be for everyone, whether they're a brand new business or they're a blockchain veteran. They will be getting wallets when they join Osis. We do have a partnership with Unstoppable Domains. For those of you who don't know what Unstoppable Domains is they are the single biggest NFT domain supplier distributor on the internet. And this is a novel idea. It is a beautiful idea. This is great because it works perfectly with what we are trying to do. It's one domain, all your addresses, crypto simplified. We also have a referral program for everyone that's involved. You can get 10% bonus. You can also get all kinds of other bonuses that we have coming in the future, especially from other partners that we have joining the platform. We'll be bringing as much value as we can to our archangels, as we call them. Our ambassador program is called the Archangel program.
Yeah. And then as far as the NFTs are going with the meta badges, a lot of people have been seeing a lot of different projects in the NFT space raise in value to the heavens and then hit the sea, hit the ocean floor in the matter of just months. And the reason for this is that it's not something that has the weight and the value that can precede itself in the long run. So for us, of course, when you're looking at all this utility, the thing at the far right you're looking at is an NFT that you get and you keep Osis for as well, which represents votes, as I was speaking on in the past or early in this call. And so when someone has this NFT, the plan would be for most people, and the advice would be to hold it for now. Because imagine if Binance had its own NFT project in the beginning where you could have a say. That's really what I can tell you.
Yeah, where you could vote on what Binance invested in.
Yeah, so that's what once we get to where we're going, and we turn this entire platform into an exchange as well with all that utility, these meta badges, and there's 10,000 of them, are going to have much more value than just the dollar sign. So
is this platform that we're seeing now in the image of, is that going to be what's going to be launched in this summer?
No, this is being launched this weekend. This is
the one for this weekend.
Yes. This is the first step for everyone.
This is the website version, and then the mobile one is going to be tweaked. Obviously, we're launching this beta, and it's going to look even better. We're going to add more features.
Yes.
How would people join it? What do they have to do?
It's super simple. Go to osis.world and sign up. It's free. It takes less than 1 minute to do. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, you just have to sign up. I see in the webpage it says Get Osis, so just press that.
Yep.
That's what it'll be. Right now, the current website is it's an investment website right now for people to actually buy the token. So they get in, they have their account too, and then it gets converted to a Web3 account once this is live, once Osis Core is live.
Okay, great. So to our viewers, please visit osis.world, as featured below in the banner.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, this is just a sneak preview of the mobile version, how to buy Osis. You can buy it with card or crypto. Getting your NFT domain, we can go into that in the future, or we're going to be giving a lot of education on that too. And choosing your meta badges, you can get involved here. This is some of the artwork. And let me just zoom out here. So you get a little bit of a visual of the family tree and the partnerships that we've created in the past several months. Again, Osis itself was started to be launched in November 2021. So it has been, I believe, nearly 6 months.
Idea was incepted 5 years ago, and the concept, I've been thinking about something like this since 2014. So it's been a long time.
Yeah. So as you can see, we have several different partnerships. Galileo being the biggest, I guess you'd call financial technology partner company in the US. For instance, Chime Bank, I believe Vero and dozens of other like neobanks in the US specifically work with Galileo. They have over 100 million. That's almost a third of the US population, 100 million accounts that work with them. So we created this partnership through Coincare.
They reached out to us. Go figure. It's crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's awesome. May I ask who's your bank in Europe?
So we work with a program manager called Banks right here, as you can see, BAAX. There are a couple of different banks in Europe that we're still in the process of speaking to which one we want to choose to work with. But all of that is underway. Everyone is all
It's
thumbs up.
all thumbs up. You know how it goes. It's just the conversation part of things right now.
Yes. We're partnered with Let's Token here on the bottom right. We've
Hello.
got that. Hey, hello.
There we are. Good, great.
Yes. I guess we could move on.
There are plenty more, but these are the ones we just got.
I know. Look, I had prepared a lot of questions because I was reviewing the website. Unfortunately, a little bit short of time.
Yes.
Now, what I would like to do you have something else in regards to this presentation you would like to share with us?
We can just show the progress. This
Okay,
could be the very last slide. This is super easy. We started in November 2021 we started fundraising in November 21. Everything's been going on for several years now. We just recently hit our soft cap. This was all completely organic, more than $500,000 USD raised. This was, again, totally organic. There was no weird, we didn't have any private equity.
Talk to people.
Exactly. Ran ads, talk to people. It was word of mouth. People are very passionate. We have over 9,000 accounts created to date. Over 1,300 of these 9,000 accounts are active investors in the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, we've actually recently filled our whitelist for the MetaBadge NFTs project, and more than 25,000 people in our community total to date.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well done. Gentlemen, I think we have to join a show again. I will propose to make a second one because again, there's a lot of questions that we prepared that we have time to address, but I think it will be super important for our viewers. So I would suggest to have a second part of it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. If there was one question that you had to ask, gun to your head, what would it be?
A fun one. It's one of my favorites about the roadmap. Because you know how things are right now. You have the regulators, you have the market conditions, you have technology. It's like changing all the time. So you can really it's really hard to forecast within 1 year, right? 1 year down the line. My question I'd like to ask the project is, where would you wish to see your project 3 years from now?
That's a great question. So in 3 years, I would like to see, actually, I'll give you guys a visual and it'll be fast. When we were in Egypt, I remember seeing this kid and he was clearly, from the streets. He was out there. He was trying to sell things. He had a great personality though. I'm telling you, he could sell anything to anybody. And what I would love to see are people like that kid. He had a phone. Like in Africa, you see people they don't have food, but they have phones. I would love to see somebody or people around the world who would be able to tokenize, let's say, a technology that they created. There's a lot of really bright minds in impoverished countries that are helping their villages out. Tokenize whatever their business is and have them end up being a part of these big land deals you see that governments are going in, purchasing land. But that individual profiting from that situation along with his entire village, because the entire village bought into this kid that is tokenizing himself. And then the whole world is taking part into that situation. There are so many people with so many different ideas and huge platforms that are just overlooked and underappreciated due to them being so far away from our reality and being in first world countries. I would love to see things change in that way because there's much more natural resources in poor countries for some reason. And I would love to see those countries flourish as a result, and particularly the individuals there that are suffering at the moment with great ideas and high upside.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Chris. Jalal, how about you?
Similar to Chris, I want to see the platform reach as far and wide as the person on the street with the cell phone. Yeah.
Okay. And look, your project has a lot of potential. It's amazing what you guys doing, and you have the humanitarian side beside it. Yeah. It's really not just create a hype program and so on. Mm-hmm. It's actually to empower people, help them, and I think that's very noble in itself. Maybe that's one of the reasons you have such a strong community. Mm-hmm. So well done for that. Again, I really would like to have you again in another show.
Yes.
And then we can go through the rest of the questions that we had prepared.
Yes.
And again, the questions from our viewers, again, that we didn't have time to address. So you'll be more than welcome to join us. And I just want to bring up one piece of information. Okay, Faro, where can I find information about the project? Please go to osis.world. You have all the information. You can register. And by the way, also, I did almost forget, if you want to get in contact with the project, use Discord. Discord.gg/Osis. There you have contact with the community, with the project managers. So that's your gateway.
Instagram is also great. If someone wants to go there, they're more comfortable with that. Osis World, they can go there. It's not the dot for Instagram. But yeah, feel free to contact us. It's very easy to find.
So that one is Osis World, and that is Instagram. I'm writing it down actually.
Yes. Okay, great. Yeah. No, we do our best to reach every single person and answer every single question, even ourselves personally.
Yeah, on Instagram specifically, there's all types of videos that have the thumbnails that show questions and answers and everything. So there's a lot of content that they can look into.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Well, gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure to have you here. That's one of the reasons I do like doing this type of shows, to meet projects like yours.
Yes.
That it really makes sense. It has a full body. I love it. So once again, you have to come to the show, maybe in 1 week, 2 weeks, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be there. Just let us know when.
Okay, Fred, we'll coordinate it. Until then, well, once again, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Great to meet you. To our viewers, thank you for your time. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the next show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care,
Have
guys.
a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.